Alright, let me try this again even without restarting the computer. I'm thinking it might have just been on my end. Shout out to, who's that? Brandon Townsend? Up in there? Yeah, I believe it was the homie Brandon Townsend that said it sounded okay on his end. On my end, I was getting all types of feedback, but that may not necessarily have been coming through the stream. So, I'm going to try this shit again. Okay, yeah, we might be good moolah. Alright, hold on.
The greatest of all time, call me Anthony Prime, with plans to refine the savage from the shanties with swine. Live from the city where educated goblins are gritty and shorties conceited. Best believe they vibing still with me. Kids are pill popping, falling like an anvil dropping. Minimal problems expanding from the hands on the bottle. Pouring the lean, they leaning on the poor to get richer. Black nation taxation to the core and they get you. Corners of niggas get richer off of whores and addiction. Raw in the kitchen for paupers doing more than just sniffing. War and affliction was written, we decoding the Torah. Liquor stores on the corner, keep the potion to cure ya. Couple hours till you crash and burn. Ashes earn, cashes earn. Spend with our breasts, I made them larger than a pack of dirt. Space 3 times in the mirror, you might see me feeding the mind of people that's needing to dine easy. Keeping it tall, music for the need of all. Underdogs in the P's with the P in the hall. Raid in the kitchen, where ATF raiding your kitchen. Raising conditions of major trucks and Reagan legated the pagan traditions. Cast a spell of hate on our children, I break it through spitting. This the realm Satan existing. Angels are singing, word to Eve, praise must be given. The same God that Adam knew he naked and hid from. Temptation, 10 nations, one ruler. When Satan then raises, he's gon' fool ya. Resources, archery, aim, clothing. Starts to prepare, knowing where part of the game's going. Mark of the lames, want a credit card in your brain. Karma came lightning fast like a spark in the rain. The capital gains from gaming cats has you in pain. The crashing then came, now every single stack has been drained. While you're gassed as hell with the busted ride. And the magic spells that you trusted died. We gon' bash the doors of oppressors who lied. First we crack the shells, then the nuts inside. Space money, fake honeys, stay bummy. Social media rich with a raised tummy. She takes money from 6 possible baby daddies. For Xanax, she a dick swallowing faded addict. I transform into sandstorms to block the vision of opposition. What sights on my prophet getting? Writing like prophet's vision, got me grabbing the quill. Heart light as a feather in this Amityville. House of harbor, little shopping, I'm for feeding the children. G's are the killing, for weed is selling D in your building. Poverty got us contorted like some pottery shaping. In these depths of the garden that we follow the snake in. A bunch of sides launching their cannons to conquer the planet. We're fronting like the conquerors want you to have it. Absolute power corrupts, so keep it harder than granny. Devouring chumps that wanna take yours down with the madness. And gold diggers are slutting strong, claiming their fame, while the average girl gets nutted on, taking the train. It's a savage world of something wrong, brains in disdain, crazy the range, from birth to death, Abel and Cain. Jealous ways of relating on the way to a rain. Niggas on their way to arraignment, adding neighbors to things. Green giant, Chagayan, that's defiance of pious leaders and tyrants with poison. The military outboys and wars of corporate conquerors kill the core of the monster with skill, destroying the nonsense that they deploy it upon us. Major points and absconding the ways we want to be living. You never caulking the system against circadian rhythm. Human nature in prison till every place that we live in. Nobody is seen like Arabian women. Soul zombies in prisons of D-Wave computers. Obama they give us, but we ain't making no moolah. No black business is risen or erected, just reckless. Erections that fuck us when no STD checking. Battle ready, words travel heavy through my anatomy. I got vocabulary capillaries. Hours in, well over 100,000. Been running down with bars on niggas since the public housing. Tone space, call me Optimus Rhyme. Transform and roll out at the drop of the dime. I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours, even with firearms. Surviving strong on our way back to Iacon. Space. This is a classic right here. I feel the greatest of rush when I'm writing. Feeling no other is fucking with my pen. All of the souls I can touch that I heighten. Holding the world with the creative license. Israel scattered, one day we uniting. Keep up the fight when the heathens come at ya. He that will master himself while submitting, or be the glory the scripture that's written. Are we the story of niggas that's missing? Lords he a soar in the pagan tradition. They gave you a system from angels that they sent for your eternity whispering. I am too tall for these little folks. Laugh when they cracking their little jokes. Tears of a clown when you living broke. Before the fire, I'm giving them smoke. I don't lost count on the songs that I wrote. Over 1,000, I'm from public housing. Only pops I saw it came from a gun. He was on drugs that are raising his son. Raising the slums, I wanna break the cycle. Can't really live while engaged in survival. That's why we flee to just having our fun. Facing our troubles make us wanna run. I feel the greatest of rush when I'm writing. Feel that no other is fucking with my pen. Plug to the plug, now let me plug the mic in. Holding the world with the creative license. Publishers hit me so easy to do it. Paid in advance, hope the rapper recoups it. I write for artists, they pay me a check. Cause it's so hard to catch only respect. Only the real ones I'm known to respect. Don't fuck with thoughts out here throwing me net. Beefing with dudes, but I prefer respect. Rather give money than go at your neck. Never too old to be musically big. Break all the rules that the industry rigged. Set respect 4 times, you know that I'm bout it. This the 4th writing, I'm changing it up. Writing for changing, I know we all doubt it. Losing our voices and cries that we shouted. Looking back home when I first did the verse. Nothing must change but the words in the verse. Nothing must change but the world we adverse. Creatively, I just added more worth. Create the beat, then I lay down the verse. Creation fleeing from ways of the earth. Men become women while genders reverse. Kids are still wildin' on plantation turf. Chemicals swallow this lower in birth. GMO's meant to put us in a hearse. Trails in the sky with the stuff they disperse. Parallel lines so we breathe in the hurt. They're gonna lie till we lie in the dirt. Land with the lion, rely on the word. Earth is a plane, but they gave us their balls. Trying to disguise us from God when he calls. Finding the sky what you think of the grace. NASA they heathens deceiving us all. So much distraction and finding our way. This is the traction and keeping you slaves. This isn't tracks when he go wanna play. This the reaction, I do what I say. I shot the video right in this town. Figured I see if you wanna get down. And live in color, my palate's profound. Sock it to Brody like homie the clown. Bums think they're big cause they're kings of the trash. World is so big while they sit on their ass. Just for my moms, I should fuck with the kid. I'm trying to put her in luxury cribs. I feel the greatest of rush when I'm writing. Feel that no other is fucking with my pen. Stone space, yeah, it sounds all exciting, but I do not fuck with the Neil deGrasse Tyson. Internet market could make you $1 million. Internet mark, now they raiding your building. Videos never stay going unlisted. FBI watching your moves when you did it. Niggas can't stick their own tongue between teeth. Who's out here teaching our youth how to speak? Nuclear moves can't be made by the weak. Pistols the power to bury you deep. Police will pull it, provide you a bullet. Picking a pack with no pepper spray, do it. Cops shoot niggas, I'll keep it simple. It's like you're lucky if they beat up and pin you. Some might have revolutionary in you, but as a whole we threw that out the window. Crabs in a barrel that point at each other. Peace of the righteous that wanna teach others. If we all did imagine the reach of us. Force of a nation where no one can shove us. I am at home with the pen. Homing in y'all whose home is the pen. Can't say I know where you're in, but know when you get out, try not to go there again. I feel the greatest of rush when I'm writing. Feel that no other is fucking with my pen. Writing this making me feel like a titan. Already told, but now look how I heighten. All of you out there don't sleep on your talent. Don't let a hater throw you on a tangent. Watch how the jealous will side eye your vision. Fuck what they tell you, just stay on your mission.
Trying to tell y'all I'm the
Writing. 4. Space. To all I want.
Deja vu. You can remember the future. Huh? Get it. Every day you do the same old thing, just hang with your crew. Same gold chain, same old news. You're on the same block like Deja. Same old chicks and same old dudes. Same old gear, same old shoes. Pop off vodka, ain't no goose. In the same club like Deja. I got a street edge with a lyrical feel. I was grazing the wood, man, shit was so real. Heart is cold as they grip the coast still. Let's tell the DA, let's play deal or no deal. Bitch got me thinking that my neighbors is bug, cause I kicked it with Crips and I hang with the Bloods. Let's get ignorant like the flavor of love. Get twisted and mix soft drinks in the club. Fly chick on my hip, might lick on a clit. Lifeless is the click, I'm getting these chips. Might get it in dip. Lickety split, Mike Vicky, this bitch, my shit is legit. Like Mitchie is slick and 50 is rich. Ridiculous fist, 3 whips that I dip. I'm beastin', eatin', you nibbling bits. The way the blue chain swing might get you seasick. Every day you do the same old thing, just hang with your crew. Same gold chain, same old news. You're on the same block like they. got gold round my neck. Everybody that live in my zip code loves me. Spit so lovely, man, them chicks gon' love me. I'm not your boy, cause I've been grown, buddy. Class of my own like I'm in home studies. And I'm getting straight A's, and I live in LA. Blood and crippin' A-Day. Shit is crazy. Pistols bang bang, even sisters get hit with a flippin' AK. You check the check, I'm getting rich from payday. Cause I flip it 8 ways, like kicks, I stay laced. Holla at your boy like his it ain't trained. So bitches make way, I'm just warming up like it was late May. Every day you do the same old thing, just hang with your crew. Same gold chain, same old news. You're on the same block like day job. Same old chicks and same old dudes. Same old gear, same old shoes. Pop off vodka, ain't no goose. In the same club like day job. You ain't be broke, pay attention now. Bought my mama crib, now she get to smile. Broke my whole life, now I get to style. Expensive taste like mixture. Spray in my cup and we raising it up. Got cushion the wood and we blazing it up. They hate to love, yet they love to hate. I'm in the house like rugs and freight. Those front row at VMA with the red bone look like Lisa Ray. Let's exchange some DNA. I make big chips like free code. Trumps never told a lady no. Lifeless crew, all the ladies know. Got an entourage like HBO. Hella hard to hit, LA radio. Every day you do the same old thing, just hang with your crew. Same gold chain, same old news. You're on the same block like day job. Same old chicks and same old dudes. Same old gear, same old shoes. Pop off vodka, ain't no goose. In the same club like day job. Every day you do the same old thing, just hang with your crew. Same gold chain, same old news. You're on the same block like day job. Same old chicks and same old dudes. Same old gear, same old shoes. Pop off vodka, ain't no goose. In the same club like day job.
All right. What up? I got the headphones on so the feedback don't happen because I don't really know what's causing the feedback. So I got this on for a minute. But yeah, welcome. You know what I'm saying? It's a presentation about the intelligibility of the flat Earth theory, right? Now I see LA came up in here talking about I'm doing low numbers lately. Thing is, I don't even do numbers lately because I rarely am on live. I don't even be live streaming like that, so you can't really qualify or quantify any amount of numbers I do because there ain't really nothing to base or compare it with. You know what I'm saying? Now when I talk about the stupid shit, the fuckery, when I went on and I was cooking Brian Hogs, which was like my first like real live stream, I did a good 40 plus. You know what I'm saying? So I know the game. I know the formula. If I could just talk about a little fuckery and all this and that and the usual shit that y'all like, that I like too, I indulge in the shit too, I could do numbers if I wanted to, if I was on that. But that ain't really my energy. That ain't really my steez to be yap talking about niggas and who got dookie on the floor and all that shit. So LA, he's going live right now. If y'all want to go check that out, I totally understand. It's fun, it's entertainment, it's fuckery. Just if anything, when this shit is done, catch the replay of this because I am going to go into some good shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, that leads to why I'm doing this stream, right? When you hear flat earth, you hear some shit that's like just ridiculous. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? You know what I'm saying? Did you fail grade school? Yada, 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 stuff like that. Now, pardon me, I played 3 songs. 2 of them are mine. Iacon, When I'm Writing, and the 3rd song is by my man Perfecto from the West Coast. Called Deja Vu from Inglewood. Shout out to Perfecto. I hope this reaches you too. I should have hollered at you and let you know I'm doing this shit. Let me make sure I'm audible and shit. All right, I am cool. Peace, everybody. Let me give a quick little shout out. Oh, I see my family up in here. James Gordon in this motherfucking thing. D-Lo 1000, Pro, LA the most hated. Kang Jang in this bitch. Where we at? Caribbean Freddy, thanks for coming through. Of course, you know what I'm saying? You said you was gonna come through. You want to check this out. I'm glad to see you here. KCK up in this thing. Elm City, and of course my brother from another mother, A Marvelous. See that A Marvelous dude right there? I want y'all to click on this joint, subscribe, all of that. That's like my family, like my literal family, you know what I mean? So yeah, holla at him. Tizzle in this thing, right? So, and shout out to everybody that is going to come through a little later and everything, whatever, right? Now, even A Marvelous could attest to this, because we've talked about, you know, the whole flat earth thing. He's even somewhat written it off as ridiculous, but not totally, because he's open-minded. He's into the quasars and the stars and space and all type of kooky shit himself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he does live streams and all that too, so subscribe to the brother. But even he saw it as crazy. And the dope thing, the good reason that you hear is because, you know, you might have heard the Perfecto joint I just played. Right, gravity is an illusion. But yeah, the Perfecto song I just played, I think, as you know, I got put onto the flat earth theory from Perfecto, right? And I'm sure you could agree with me. Could you agree that Perfecto is an intelligent brother? Could you agree that I'm a pretty sharp brother myself? You know what I'm saying? You know, we're bright folks. We're not, you know, dunderheads or nothing like that. So when I hear something like that and someone saying that they believe the earth is flat, if I respect their intelligence, that enough is going to be reason for me to at least look into it. So long story short, I was chopping it up with my man Perfecto about the flat earth or whatever. He started telling me a couple things, but I said, you know what, I got to look into this now, because if P is on this like that, then there might be something to it. Come to find out, you got engineers, you got physicists, you got airplane pilots that also subscribe to the theory as well. You know what I'm saying? And these are people that's pretty much on the field of the actual earth. You know what I mean? So that got me into looking at it. It was around like 2016. So I looked into it a few days, and then, you know, I played devil's advocate. I said, well, I got to debunk this. So I tried hard to debunk it. And temporarily, I actually felt that I did debunk it. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, when I would see people chop it up and talking about the flat earth, I was like, you know what? I don't agree with it. I think it's, you know, not what our shape of our planet and cosmos is or anything like that. But I respect the intelligibility and the reasons, because they do have some good points that, you know, make you wonder. You know what I'm saying? It's not as just like outright stupid as anyone, you know, may say. But even at that point, as a globe infinite space believer, there was still a couple things that I just could not explain on a globe that was in flat earth. But at the time, I thought there was way more things pro globe than against globe, even though there was a couple little things where I was like, well, shit, if we live on a globe, how come this is like that? How come that is like this? So long story short, about a year later, I revisited it, looked into it again, you know, read some excerpts from some books. Come to find out, there's been like flat earth books from like the 1800s and up, and well into the 1900s. And people really, even though the globe, yes, it's a globe thing, has been going on for like maybe 500 years, all the way up until NASA came out, it was still a debated topic. Like right now, the shit just sound ridiculous. I mean, it's becoming a debated topic again, but in the last few, up until the last few years, it's been like flat earth. What are you, stupid? You know what I'm saying? But come to find out, prior to like the mid 1950s, it was considered a reasonable thing to consider. I mean, most people at that time, you know, believed it was a globe due to media indoctrination and everything like that. But the conversation of flat earth wasn't as utterly stupid as it is today, or as it has been in recent years. So that's pretty much the reason why I'm doing this presentation. I want to bring us back to the point where the discussion of a flat earth isn't just batshit crazy. And I got this presentation ready for y'all while I break down a lot of things that go into that, and hopefully at least one or a couple of y'all, after I'm done with this presentation, could be like, you know what, I still believe it's a globe, but I'm gonna look into it more. Like, I don't expect anyone that just outright writes off the flat earth is stupid. I don't expect any of y'all after this presentation to be like, yo, I'm a flat earth, or I believe in the flat earth. I think that would be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just watching my, you know, big ass do a 2-hour video and then you're convinced. No, you would have to do research regardless. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm hoping is that after this presentation, y'all are like, you know what, let me look into that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the goal of the thing. So we're going to get to it right now. It's actually a pre-recorded presentation. I was going to do the whole thing live, but as I was like doing the research and everything, I said, you know what, let me just record the shit now as I'm digging through it and doing it. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Make sure that the audio's good once I hit start on that motherfucker, and we're gonna get busy. Yes, of course, high level intellect. What's up? Oh, 202 Sambo spot. I don't know if that's supposed to be a troll account or the homie. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, shout out to you. So yeah, let's get busy. Let's get this thing started quickly, right? All right. All right, let's get this cooking. You see, I got the Spock shirt on. Shout out to space. Now check it. In order to really believe that the flat earth is an intelligible argument, intelligible theory, intelligible thing to consider, we got to really go through a lot of stuff that we've been fed. I mean, there's so many pieces of evidence that we have that makes it so obvious that we live on a globe, right? I mean, let's go through a few of them one by one. I mean, who would believe we live on a pizza-shaped disc like this? By the way, this is the azimuthal equidistance map. It's the most commonly accepted, to me, the most logical model of our flat earth, and we're going to get into the details of that later. Right now, let's talk about this globe, because when people ask, when they say, hey, why do you believe we live on a globe, one of the first things that comes to mind is NASA. I mean, they've taken pictures from space, from satellites of our earth, everything like that. So why don't we really examine that for a minute, and let's see what's really good with that. Check it out. Let me throw an image up for you. Okay, here we got two different globe models, supposedly taken by NASA, right? One is from 2012, one is from 2013. Now, if you don't right away notice the difference, both of these Earth models are taking pictures of virtually the same thing, which is North America. 2012, North America is gigantic. Yet 1 year later, it shrinks considerably. I live on North America. I live in the United States. I think I would have felt earthquakes and fault lines going crazy and stuff like that if our continent actually did shrink within a year's time. So what's really good with that? I mean, both of these Earths are the same size, right? Which gives the impression that they're taken from the same distance. So it's not like one is more zoomed in than the other. So how can Earth possibly shrink in 1 year? Kind of weird if you ask me. Let's look at another one. Okay, here we have 9 different Earths. Now, I don't have the years on each of these, but all of these Earth models come from anywhere between the 1960s into the 2010s, as recent as last year, as 2017. Now, if you look close, you'll see, similar to the last picture, you're going to see the different sides of North America between at least 2 of them, but also you see they come in many different shades and colors. It almost looks like an assortment of pool balls. They look so different. You know what I mean? Now, yeah, I mean, is Earth just like kind of like a pastel color 1 year, and then the next year or 10 years later, it becomes like the water becomes an even more deeper blue and stuff like that? Like, what's really going on? Why are these Earths that supposedly come out from NASA, why do they look so different? Well, we're going to get into it real quick. Check this out. Now, this right here is from somebody that works from NASA themselves, somebody that is responsible for giving us our, blue shining marble that we see in all of, media and portrayed everywhere that tells us that we're on the globe. Let's listen to what he actually has to say about this, right?
Then in 2002, Blue Marble 2.0. NASA's Rob Simon made this. And it had wide appeal too. For example, it ended up as the default background on the iPhone.
I didn't even know until I bought an iPhone and turned it on and kind of did a little happy dance.
Simon's job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is. A composite of data sets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
To us, the really cool thing was the data set. Up until that point, there was no realistic color map of the globe anywhere.
So the land layer here comes from
the Moderate Resolution Imaging Spectroradiometer aboard Terra.
And the tricky part here was the weather.
So we actually had to take clouds out.
They stashed the clouds for later, went onto the ocean. That came from an instrument that measures phytoplankton in the sea.
Where it was low, I colored it dark blue because they're low mostly in mid-oceans. And then where it's a little bit higher, it was like a little bit brighter green.
Then add the clouds back in.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Then
There was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
and then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through. So I just hit Command Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space. But I've looked at these images over and over again, trying to sort of get the essence of it.
There you have it, folks. A guy from NASA himself. You could check what his name was. I think it's Russell something at the beginning of this video if you want to like do further research and look into it yourself. But this man basically admits none of the images from space of the entire Earth are genuine pictures of the Earth. It is Photoshop because it has to be. They take composites of different pictures from around the globe, and then they paste it together and make a picture of what Earth is, of what he imagines it to be. But he says he's not an astronaut. He's never been to space. But if there's supposedly an international space station that is in space that has the capability of video and photography, then wouldn't it just be more simple for that ISS to take a full picture of Earth as opposed to Photoshop? I don't know. But there you have it, folks. One of the top things that people would say is the reason why we know we're on the globe. Oh, you've seen pictures of Earth all over. Now we know that really you haven't seen genuine photos of Earth. You've seen pictures of what Earth is imagined to be, or what has been imagined for us to believe Earth looks like and then given to us. Right? But let's keep going. What are some other reasons why we just know that we live on a globe? Okay, fine. We don't have the whole picture of Earth, but we do have pictures maybe like from the ISS or from space stations or high altitude where you at least see part of the curve of Earth, don't we? Don't we? Let's take a look at that. Now this is a video that I actually did about a year ago or whatever, and check out what I'm gonna break down. They got video of the California wildfires from space. Check it out. So I thought that was interesting. So I said, let me go check out that info. And sure enough, I checked out that info, and NASA basically plays themselves. They prove that they fake the curvature of the Earth. Am I saying they fake the curvature of the Earth all the time and that the Earth does not have a curve to that? That's not what this video is about. But if they will lie in this particular video right here, what else are they lying to you about? I just want this to be kind of like your starter kit into this information, because it's real information. There's astrophysicists, there's regular physicists, there's real scientists that are in line with this modality of thought. Believe it or not, we're not kooks, right? So I'm going to show you right now. This is supposedly the California wildfires from space. Now, even just from the still image, you probably see something that's wrong, but we're going to talk about it real quick. Now, you can see the smoke, right? You could see the mountains. Look how detailed. You could see like the road paths and everything in this video right here, right? Yet, look at where this curve is. Now, is this supposed to be the curve of the actual Earth? And if it's not, then why would NASA do that? Well, let's play the video first off so you can see it in motion. They're supposedly in space. You could see roads. Look at the roads. People, let's keep it a buck. How small will the Earth have to be for, for this to be the curve of the Earth. You know how small our planet would be if this was our curve of the Earth? We wouldn't be able to see detailed roads and shit like that and have the curve here. This part right here that my arrow's on, this should be the size of a continent, not the size of a few miles of visible detailed road. Yet they're postulating that this is the curve of the Earth. Yet at the same time, balloon footage from this far up, which is considerably higher than that level, if not a similar distance, shows a nice, beautiful flat plane. Something to think about. So if NASA would lie about that and show you the wildfires from space and actually fake the curvature within that video, then what else are they lying about? You know what I'm saying? Common sense tells you that that is too close to Earth to reflect what our so-called curve of the Earth is. We all know that they're bullshitting about that video. So if you find that they bullshitted about that video, I would like you to check out NASA Debunked on YouTube, on Google. Just look into this. If this piques your interest in the least, look into it. Well, I think I will look into that. That's a pretty handsome guy. He would look good with a beard, like a nice, like, long. Okay. Well, all right. So there you have it. That's NASA claiming that those are the California wildfires that happened about a year ago, and they were talking about how you can see the smoke and the wildfires from space because they wanted to dramatize it. They wanted to make it a big dramatic situation, but they effed up it, in my opinion, because they're showing a curvature where you can see roads, as I said in the video and everything. So, I mean, you just saw the other images, composites of planet Earth from the other pictures, and you saw how you could see entire continents. So now, if you mean to tell me that where you could see like maybe a fourth or a fifth of the Earth and its curvature, you're able to see roads and stuff in there, so that's bogus. But let me show you, this isn't the only time they've done this. Check it out now. This next thing I'm gonna show is gonna be somebody doing like a space jump, supposed space jump, at a real high altitude and everything, supposedly at a curved part of the Earth too. But we're gonna look at that. Check it.
Jumper away. Speed 725. Showing Felix at a stable descent.
All right, now if you can see, take a good look at this picture right here. This is because he shortly hits land shortly after he jumps. And it may be a little hard to tell here, but you can watch the video again. You can look it up online. Just type in those keywords and pull it up for yourself. This landmass is not even, I don't even believe it's an entire state. It's like the size of about a town, yet it's showing curvature. And this video doesn't have it in the title, but you can look up this same space jump. There's other ones where in the title it says that it's from space, that they literally call it a space jump. Yet he's jumping into a small town. There's no way that the Earth is that small. Arizona or whatever little town that is doesn't take up a quarter or 1/3 of the Earth. You know what I'm saying? Basically what they do is they use fisheye lenses, just like you have in your GoPro cameras and stuff, and they fake the curvature. It's a pretty simple trick, but they fake the curvature, and that's why even on the ISS, if anyone is anywhere up in there showing a curved Earth, it is through either complete CGI or some type of camera bending technology. So we're gonna move on real quick. There's another one I want to show you. This is actually supposed footage from the ISS. They have 24-hour live streams and stuff that you could see of them showing part of the Earth, like somewhat close to the Earth, but enough where you could see the alleged curvature. Check it out. Now this right here is straight up bogus. It's either straight up bogus or it's in part bogus. Some say that the entire thing is CGI. You could look further into this and you'll see people talking about how the clouds don't move consistently with the Earth's supposed rotation. Like, I don't know if the Earth is supposed to be rotating in this image or if it's the ISS that's supposed to be moving. I think they're trying to claim, like, the movement you see, I think they're claiming that that's the actual Earth rotation, yet you could see comparable footage where the Earth looks plain and still, and we're going to get into that too. So but that's the second thing I want to go into. Not only do they fake giving us our globe Earth, and do they fake the points in which we see curvature, space as a whole has been fake. What's my name? It's Tone Space. I was in love with space back in the day as a kid, even up into adulthood. I thought when they gave us images and stuff of space and we see those science programs, I thought that that was actual space, that they took their 20 billion a year or whatever they get, and they have that technology that could shoot the cameras up into space where we see Jupiter, we see the rings of Saturn, we see all that, we see the stars, we see the nebulas. But no, look this up. It's fake. And it's not even like it's a big secret. Like, you can look into it and they'll tell you, yeah, there is no real image of what we see as fake. It's one of those, like, untold secrets. It's commonly known, but people assume otherwise so much that they don't really sweat the fact that it's not true, because they push space in our face so much that, you know, we just assume that it's true. But let's get into a little bit of this space that I once thought was real. That's right, this is not real. This is computer generated imagery right here. Not a conspiracy or a theory or anything like that. It's fact. You can look it up yourself, because that's pretty much the gist of what I want to do. I'm not trying to prove to any of y'all that the Earth is flat with this one, because this is for all of y'all that think that this whole shit sounds ridiculous. I'm trying to pique your curiosity enough for you to want to check it out on your own, for you to say, wait a minute, he does have some good points there, or at the very least, wait a minute, belief in a flat Earth actually is intelligible by all these points that space is breaking down. Pun intended. But let's move on. Fake space. All right, here we got a sunset. Now, this is another big thing that the, globe Earth believers, or regular people, let's just say that, normal people, because right now I'm still the kook until this presentation is done. Normal people that believe in a spherical global Earth that's darting through space will tell you that the sunset is proof that we live on a globe that is rotating, because the sun is stationary, or at least within the solar system. The sun is big, huge gas ball, pretty much stays in place in conjunction with the Earth. The Earth revolves and rotates around the sun. Rotating around the sun one time equals a year. A revolution of Earth equals 1 day. And when we see the sun rise and set, that's what we see, the change of the day as the Earth moves away and in front of our big sun, as you can see here. Right? Pretty simple, ain't it? But the next thing may blow you away. It may astonish you a little bit, son and daughters. That was corny. But, all right, we see the sunset. Now, first I want to say, when you see sunset at sea, it's a beautiful thing. And the sun usually looks that big and shrinks down a lot due to the refraction and mirages of the water. As you can see, the sun kind of has ripples on it. You see it reflecting off the water. It's a whole bunch of, like, mirrors and smoking or water and mirrors that make the sun actually look that big at sunset and appear to just move down. But it's still a beautiful thing. Nature's beautiful. But check this out. The sun, under certain conditions, actually sets in a quite different way. Now check it out. the sun will actually shrink as it sets. When you have enough flat land for you to see the sun go further in the distance, the sun itself will actually shrink. Check it out. Blacking out. Now we got to ask ourselves, how could the sun shrink? Because if the earth is turning away from the sun, we're standing on earth, it's turning away from the sun. All right, the sun is going to appear like it goes down, but for it to actually appear like it's moving away from us, where the sun itself shrinks before it comes out of view, well, if you have a person standing in front of you and he runs in the opposite direction, and you have enough flat land to look at him go all the way down, homie's gonna look like he shrunk too, because our perspective, you know, it makes things smaller. The further away it is, it kind of like converges like this, and it converges like that. And we're gonna get into that a lot more later. But right now, I'm gonna explain why the sun is shrinking, right? So why would the sun do the same? Well, maybe it's doing that because the sun is doing like your homie that's running away from you. The sun, in the flat earth belief and model, the sun actually moves. Because as you see with this pizza looking thing up top, the sun and the moon revolve around the earth. You know, just imagine it doing this. Well, yeah, imagine the sun and the moon making a turn, a revolution every day. And that's how we get our days, because that's a major part of the flat earth model as well, is that the earth is stationary, the sun and the moon move above us, just like we saw there when we saw the sun shrink. Because in a globular or globe spherical earth with a rotating earth, you're not going to see the sun shrink like that, like it's actually going away from you. It looks like it's actually going away from you because it's going away from you. Dare I say it. Now this next one right here goes into another big reason why we just know that we live on a globe, and that is a lunar eclipse. Because what is a lunar eclipse? A lunar eclipse is when you see the curve of the earth move into the space of the moon. That gives us our eclipse, because the sun's in back of the earth is in front, and the moon is in front of us, and you know it's moving into the moon or whatever, or the moon's moving into it, and we see that, you know, that arc in the curvature of the moon, or so they say. So this man is going to say too. Let's get into it.
A look at lunar eclipses enlightens us with the real history. Lunar eclipses occur when the Earth, Sun, and Moon align, causing the Earth's shadow to block the light from the Moon. The ancient Greeks observed this shadow, and Aristotle, living in the 4th century BC, noted that while some of his contemporaries believed in a flat Earth, lunar eclipses held one of the keys to showing its true shape. Either then the Earth is spherical, or it is at least naturally spherical. The evidence of the senses further corroborates this. As it is, the shapes which the Moon itself each month shows are of every kind, straight, gibbous, and concave. But in eclipses, the outline is always curved. And since it is the inner position of the Earth that makes the eclipse, the form of this line will be caused by the form of the Earth's surface, which is therefore spherical. Yes, the spherical shape of the Earth was known long before the time of Christopher Columbus's voyage. Around 2,000 years before, the prophet Isaiah referenced the circle of the Earth with the following preface: "Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Hath it not been told you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth?" I'm David Reeves. Truly, the heavens declare the glory of God.
My mic wasn't on, so yo. But yeah, I was saying that's some pretty fly stuff. Aristotle was telling us. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Lunar eclipse. The Earth is moving in front of the moon, and it shows the curve of the Earth and everything. Real good stuff. But you know what, Aristotle? We about to hit you in the head with some stuff that you probably wasn't aware of. Check this out, though. And this for my man Aristotle. We about to like blow a hole in that theory real quick. Here we go.
Oh, look at that. It's already half gone.
Right on. Now how is that happening when the sun is still up in the air? We're still daylight. Now how is that happening when the sun is still up in the air? We're still daylight. Now how is that happening when the sun is still up in the air? We're still daylight. Now how is that happening when the sun is still up in the air? We're still daylight. Now how is that happening when the sun is still up in the air? We're still daylight.
Okay, I ain't gonna front. I hate it when you see videos that keep showing the same thing repeated over and over. I'm like, yo, we're bright folks. We got it the first time. That's cool. So pardon me for that, that little situation there. But basically what you saw right there was a lunar eclipse where the sun was still up in the air. Now, if the sun is supposed to be, if it's supposed to look like this, how could that happen if it's supposed to look like, let me get it. If it's supposed to look like this, the sun, Earth in front of it, casting shadow on the moon, giving us the eclipse, right? So how can that sun possibly be visible from the side of the Earth where you're seeing the lunar eclipse if you're looking at that? Doesn't make any sense. In fact, there's been like 50 plus, I think over 50 situations of these very type of lunar eclipses. One was recently, and throughout time that's been recorded, this has happened at least 50 something times where the sun and moon was both in the air and you were able to see a lunar eclipse. So Aristotle, you know what I'm saying, that kind of plakaw, as Hogs would say, right? Let's move on. What else we got? Let me hit my notes real quick because there's some other things I want to cover up in here. Eclipse. Okay. Yeah, we're going to move on with other reasons why we just know that we live on a globe, right? And that's plane flights. Let me take a look here if I'm supposed to hit one of these notes by now. Let me see something. Because I got like so many pictures and stuff. Let me check something out real quick. Okay, not yet. Easy. Okay, we're gonna look at plane flights. We're gonna look at from a window. Actually, we're gonna look from the pilot's window, not even the passenger window, because a lot of people will claim, oh yeah, I've seen the curvature of the Earth at 30,000, 40,000 feet from the seats in the passenger side of a plane window, right? But little did you know that these windows actually have fisheye lenses comparable to the stuff that they have that distort the curvature of the Earth, and GoPro lenses and in NASA and stuff like that. They also put that stuff on planes. Believe it or not, you can look it up. But let's take a look at it anyway, shall we? All right, that was pretty fly, pun intended. But as I said, even in the title of the video said something of like, and don't say it's a distorted camera window lens or something. Why shouldn't we say that if that's the actual truth? But I want y'all to look into that yourself. Look into the details of if planes actually do use windows that distort things. I've been on probably 30, 40 plus planes myself, and I want to say I've seen something of a curve, and this is before I even believe in any flat earth anything, right? I want to say I have, but at the same time, you got to think like this. If you're mentally conditioned from having pictures of the globe, from all the stuff that I showed previously, if you're mentally conditioned to believe it's a globe, it may actually be flat, but your mind is going to like fill in the blanks to kind of play a trick on you and make you think, I think I do see a little bit of curvature. So between that and an actual fisheye lens that'll distort it to actually give it a curve, 9 times out of 10, people are going to say it's a curve. I want you to check out, because I got the links of other good flat earth channels. My homeboy D Marble, I want you to check him out. He's done an experiment called the spirit level experiment, where he tests to see if that when planes fly, if they have to dip their nose down to accommodate for the supposed curvature of the earth. Very interesting stuff. Look up D Marble spirit level experiment. Check his channel out, subscribe, check all the channels below and subscribe to them. But check this out. I want to blow that theory out the water, right? Because if you see from that plane, you could see they're still like within the atmosphere where it's light outside. This right here is a balloon flight from 121,000 feet up, and it's straight. And this isn't just a picture, it's also a video that pans. Because some people like to say this. They say, well, at that height, if you could just see that much of the earth, sure, it's going to look like it's straight. But if you were able to see more this way or more that way, you'll see the curvature. But the thing is, this video right here, the camera pans and it stays flat the entire time. Check it out. Camera, this panning back and forth. I want to skip further where it pans a bit quicker. There we go. Camera's panning back and forth, and it's still completely flat. A whole revolution of that camera would be 360 degrees. I would say that this camera panned maybe at least a third of that way. So it panned about what? 71, about, I don't know, like 80 degrees or something like that. 81, 60 plus degrees. 60 degrees, yeah. So it panned at least 1/3 of a full revolution. Well, no, 60 is, I'm thinking it's 90. Yeah, 60 would be about what? 1/6 of 360. 120, 240. I don't know. My math is off, but you get what I'm saying. The shit panned enough where you would see a curve if there was a curve. It's way enough visual sight to tell that it's a completely flat plane going up way further than a plane would go. 120-something thousand feet compared to a plane that, you know, goes up to like 30, 40,000. And according to the math that we're going to get into later, the Earth is actually supposed to curve by the time you hit 70,000 feet. Yet we're a good 70,000 and then half that much on top of that, and it's still a flat plane. Right? So that's some interesting stuff. Let me see. Let me check the notes real quick. Make sure I covered everything. Travel. Okay, yeah, balloon flights. That's a balloon flight. Yeah, all right, travel. People say that we live on a globe, you could tell, because of travelers, right? People have circled the circumference of the Earth. How could you start at one point, go around it, and get back to the point unless it's a spherical Earth? Well, this is why I like to tell people it's not a debate of flat or round Earth, right? It's a debate of flat, it's a debate of flat or spherical Earth. Because as you see from the model above, this is a round Earth. And because it is a round but flat Earth, navigation could do the exact same thing and follow the same coordinates and produce the same results. You could be in North America, you could be in New York, for example, take a boat ride all around, and for this sake of argument, we'll act like the boat could move through land and go past through the West Coast back to the east and get you right back to New York. So you could do a circle around the world just as you would if it was spherical. And that's why I like this picture, because it shows the latitude, longitude lines. How we see them on a globe, they actually translate to the same coordinates on a flat plane like this. So what that means is a traveler could believe that they're on a globe. They could be given certain coordinates to go to certain places, and them thinking they're on a globe, they could do it, and they could still be moving around a flat map, and it'll bring them to the same place, because the longitude latitude lines, they actually translate just about the same from globe Earth to flat Earth, unless you were talking about Antarctic voyages and stuff like that, because as you can see by this picture above, it's surrounded by an ice ring. And when you ball that up into a globe, That part, that ice ring, is what the globe calls Antarctica, which is supposed to be at the South Pole. So aside from going to the South Pole, navigation will translate the same on a globular Earth than on our beautiful flat Earth map. Another thing is plane flights, right? Now, people say like, oh yeah, I've taken plane flights here and there and all that. Well, I'm going to show you a little clip of a video that it kind of looks weird if we were on a globe, but it's going to make a lot more sense if we were on a flat plane map, and that is the actual routes that they take. Check it out. I'll let the guy talk. I've been running my mouth.
Map these out, and look, you know, it just looks ridiculous what you have to try and do. You can't just go straight across. You have to actually get up into the northern hemisphere and then come back down.
I'm going to preface real quick of what the guy's doing. These are actual plane flight paths. So if you want to go from, where's that, Australia to South Africa, the flight takes that route. It goes all the way up into, what's that, or wherever that is, South America, or wherever they're showing that first destination. It has to go there, and then it has to fly back down to South Africa or wherever. No, that's actually South America. So Australia to South America, it has to go up north into you know, U.S. territory, and then it has to fly back down into into South America. Like, why can't it just take a direct flight that way? Like, if this were a globe, this would be the path it takes. But check it out. If this were a flat map, we're gonna see how that path would actually translate.
So that doesn't make any sense. So I mapped it on the flat Earth map, and whoa, okay, now it makes sense. This is Sydney, Australia on the flat Earth map. So yeah, you would want to stop at Vancouver or San Francisco or LA on your way, because it is on the way. Alright, the next one I checked out, let's see.
So you see, basically, it does take that path, but if this were a globe, it would look like it doesn't make sense, because why would you waste that fuel and go all the way up there just to go down there? But if our map actually does in fact look comparable to this big old pizza above me, it's really a straight line. So I'm just pausing, just want to let it all sink in. You know what I'm saying? I'm here sweating. I'm fanning myself basking in the glory of what I believe is a victory of making at least taking away the obvious reasons of why we live on a globe. You know what I'm saying? You can't say it's because NASA shows it in pictures, because it's Photoshopped, because it has to be, right? You can't say it's because of what we see from a plane, because as we could see, we actually see a plane when we go almost twice as much in the air than the Earth, than a plane goes. You can't say it's because we see the curve from here and there. We always see the curve, because as you see, they always distort it. Whether it's the ISS, whether it's them showing NASA showing a wildfire, whatever they show, even somebody taking a jump, diving into whatever he's doing, bungee jumping, and it'll show a curve even in a small landmass. So from small to big, they show a curve, when in all actuality, none of those curves are genuine curves. You know what I'm saying? Space is all CGI. We've not had one picture of anything that's really in outer space. Sunsets, you saw a sun actually shrink and get smaller. On a globe, we would just move away from it. The sun would look like it sets like it always does. But as you saw, if you have a flat enough plane with no water to distort the images, as the sun goes away, a lot of times that sun is going to get smaller, because that sun is in fact over you when it's moving away from you. It's not the Earth rotating past the sun. So yeah, there you have it. We're going to get into some more stuff right now, but I just wanted to do that real quick. So when people ask, How do you know what's on a globe? We could just go through all those points, boom, 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 and we could show that, you know what, those points are actually not as reliable as you thought they were. So yo, I want y'all to check out, you know, after this video, check it out on your own. Do some research, you know, take a few notes on this thing right here, and you know, do some looking up, because that's what I did when my homeboy came to me with this at first. I was like, yo, that's interesting. I look more into it. I look more into it. Look more into it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna move on. But yo, that's that's the answer for, like, yo, how do you know that we live on a globe? That knocks out all those points I presented. Now, if you could think of more points, leave them. Feel free to leave them in the comment, the chat, and everything. We can keep this cooking. We can keep this going. But yeah, we're gonna move on. All right, as you see, I'm looking a little different. I'm more laid back right now because, you know, I put a lot of work into this thing here. You know what I'm saying? So I did want to speak on a little bit of a philosophy of this, if I will, real quick. The interesting thing, you know, a lot of conspiracy theories, it's usually the wild, outlandish thing that people are theorizing. That's the conspiracy. Aliens, for example, something that directly relates to what we're talking about now. The whole alien theory, Roswell crash, all of that. It's some far out there shit that people are considering to be a conspiracy. But interestingly enough, especially after I broke everything down in that first part, flat Earth is kind of like the opposite of that. See, we've been trained so much to believe in infinite space and heliocentrism and solar systems that revolve around the Milky Way. Milky Way revolves around the galaxy. Galaxy darts through the universe. All this out there shit, yet we can't see any of that. Flat Earth is the one so-called conspiracy where the simple thing, the actual simple observable thing that we see, which is our environment around us, is the thing that we're theorizing. Whereas it's more commonplace for us to believe the out there wild stuff. Even landing on the moon, that's out there. Like someone was actually able to take a ship, darted through 200 and something whatever miles away and land on a rock. Yet none of us could experience or see that except when we saw it on TV. And boy, they had a great wireless signal back in the 60s, didn't they? For them to communicate and one small step and all that other stuff like that. And yeah, infinite planets. I mean, all the time they talk about a new planet that they found in a different nebula or cosmos. They say they got a diamond planet. Next thing you know, they're going to come out with a dookie planet. Are any of y'all interested in seeing the Dookie planet? I'm sure it's there. Meanwhile, they're keeping all our minds on the Dookie planet. What we observe is a flat plane. What we observe is the sun moving, a moon moving, trees, water, oceans. Our observable reality is not consistent with what they have us thinking is the actual truth. Infinite stars in space. And they're actually claiming they landed a rover, a remote control car on Mars, and they're able to take pictures and bring it all back to Earth. I mean, it just sounds wild. It sounds like that should be the conspiracy, because our observable reality shows that flat Earth is actually the simple belief that you see and observe with your own senses. So that's just a little break of a theory I wanted to break out. But let's move on. And that, you know, to segue into that, they've been indoctrinating us in this whole globe model through all forms of media, through all forms of entertainment. This is the Universal Pictures symbol from around when Universal Pictures first came out. This was before NASA was even invented. It's like in the 20s or 30s. And of course, it's not playing, but if it were playing, it would show a revolving globe. If you watch the original Scarface from, I think, 1929, 30, or 31, something like that, where it has the world is yours globe spinning, and of course they remade that with the Tony Montana Scarface in 1980 or 81. Where we at? And yeah, everything between this and this 100th anniversary Universal Pictures symbol. So from the first picture from the 20s or 30s to 2018 and everything in between, there's globe, globe, globe. Space, 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 pun intended for those in the know. Check out my music. All right, look at this. Preschool. They have people painting things on the globe from way, way, way back. So, okay, what's the next thing on the menu? We are going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the history of the globe and stuff like that. Okay, we might as well dig into it, right? I believe the first known model of the globe was like 1492, around when Columbus sailed and raped the ocean blue and all that other stuff like that. But there's been heliocentrism, because basically heliocentrism is our current belief, where we revolve around the sun that's in a solar system that darts through space. That's called heliocentrism, that Earth is not the center of our known universe. Geocentrism means that we believe that we are the center of the universe, and the sun and the moon, it revolves around us. The known planets that we see, those are all just wandering stars and stuff like that are all local. And I did want to add this little caveat. When I was talking about the sunsets, how the sun gets smaller and smaller, I forgot to add, according to our flat earth model, the sun is, of course, it's much closer. They suspect it to be about 3,000, 4,000 miles up in the air, along with the moon. Sun and moon being the same size. Sun not like 500 or whatever times bigger than the Earth. Not a huge ball. Sun is like a very, very small thing. Compare it to Earth, even though shape-wise it's not like this with the flat Earth, but compare it to the flat Earth being like a pool table. Sun and the moon are the balls. And they stick us with some other crap. But I'm here to chalk your stick and get you right. Pause. Yeah, you can tell I'm on some laid-back stuff right now. So I did want to add that caveat. When I was talking about the sun going away, do not imagine, and you know, in the sunset, when it gets smaller, do not imagine a huge gas ball. Imagine something that's about 3,000 miles up and a lot smaller, like, I don't know, maybe the size of New York or something. All right, but yeah, let's get into it. You've got Copernicus, who brought the heliocentric model. You've got Galileo, that co-signed it, and you've got all other people. I want y'all to take a look at this picture. Look up these names, and you will find that all of these people are either Jesuits or Masons. These old school cats, they're more likely Jesuits, because Masons are an offshoot out of Jesuits. And who are the Jesuits? Jesuits are the secret societies that are now considered like Illuminati and stuff like that. It all comes down from the Roman Empire, which has never died. The Roman Empire is still in existence. That's why we have Catholicism. That's why we have the Pope, where you pray to the Father, an actual man, when the Bible, the Christian, the Hebrew Bible, Torah and everything tells you, yeah, you're not supposed to rock with any particular man, if not Yahshua, Jesus Christ, right? So all of these people that are pushing the heliocentric model, they're all part of that agenda. They all stem from Jesuits or Masons and such, right? Let me see, do I got another picture that kicks the Willy Bobo about this? Okay, yeah, I do. These are astronauts. These are more the current incarnations of Jesuits, because at first we had guys that would theorize, you know, with their astronomy and telescopes and everything, that the Earth was heliocentric, kicking that propaganda to us. Now, the more modern version of these people will be these astronauts. They are, but astronauts they are not. My wordplay is terrible right now. But yeah, look at these names. Most astronauts, if not all of them, that claim to have done anything, you know, going to the moon or traveling into space and everything, they all can be traced down to Freemasonry. And we're not talking about our good old black folk Masons that do the fish fry and all that. Now, we're talking about those, you know, the real deal dogs that invented this satanic crap or whatever. So that's that. What else we got for you? Image number 8. Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Okay, I don't know if we're ready for that part, but are we ready for this? Are we ready for the satellites? Okay, before we get into this, let me push this picture back on down. I want to go over how NASA and space agencies are totally fake. It's probably a real good crux of this presentation, but you know what? There's so many ways to dig into how that they're fake that that could be a 2-hour presentation in and of itself. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to breeze through it quick with a couple videos showing you how NASA and them get down. Just giving you a little primer on how they're fake. But I do urge all y'all people, if you find anything interesting about the hoax that is NASA, please do some more research on your own. You'll have a good old time just seeing how these dudes are flugazy. All right, where we at? Bear with me, bear with me. Okay, this right here, I'll give a little prep of what you're about to see. They're going to speak on it in the video. They have this, you know how we got virtual reality and stuff like that. They have technology where they can put these contact lenses in people's eyes, right? And they can create things that are there. They put these things in people's eyes, and then to the observer, they'll be like items, like in space, for example, there'll be like a floating ball. The ball doesn't really exist, but when you got this virtual reality thing in your eyes, you see the ball. You as the person that the ball is supposed to be in front of, even though it's not there. So you'll grab nothing, but through your eyes, you're going to think that you're grabbing like a ball. You know, it's floating on the space station. You grab it, put it in the other hand, move it somewhere else. Now, if this is broadcasted, the person that's watching it will also see the ball. So the computer-generated image that is really nothing, that's a hologram of a ball, is seen by people watching at home, and it's also seen through, you know, these special contact lenses or augmented reality things they put in people's eyes. So then they see it, they grab the ball, put it down somewhere. And I say that because it's going to be an important part of what you're going to see here. Now let's roll this beautiful beam footage.
We have to introduce the concept of free fall. So let's use this model of the Earth. And let's enlist the help of a friend, Paxi. You might know her.
So what is significant about this video is, number one, it was live to school children. Number two, we have this stuffed animal that is transitioning in on another video channel. And the actor is able to reach up and grab this doll in real 3D space and manipulate this doll with their hands. And so the only way you're going to pull that off is with one technology. And that technology is virtual reality. Next segment, I'm going to show you how NASA grabs objects in 3D space, rotates them around, manipulates them. They can do this with water, with cloth, anything. And the cool thing about it is we can take what they're doing, what they're seeing with their contact virtual reality augmented lenses, and put that on a separate video layer live. So in this clip, they're talking live feed, and what you know, we have a astronaut go by us in the background, obviously trying to give it a more realistic, spacey, station busy effect. The only problem is the camera that was supposed to mask this harness out, or the video feed, is not working. And so we see the guy come flying along in a harness on his wires. Pretty amazing. But that's not all that goes wrong here. Okay, so you see to the right, this guy's flipping this hat. This hat's actually on another video channel in 3D space. It's virtual reality. They're wearing augmented contact lenses so that they can interact with these 3D objects. Now, in this scene,
real quick, I know the video covers it, but I just do want to point this out. Look at the dude on the left. Look at his eyes. You could tell he's wearing those 3D fugazi augmented reality contact lenses. Let me move on.
the guy on the left in the green shirt, he thinks he sees an object in 3D space that's being broadcast to him. So he grabs it and he puts it off to the side. He's looking straight ahead because he's looking at an object rotating in front of him, but the video channel is down that is supposed to show the viewers what we're supposed to see, and so we don't actually get to see the object that he is seeing. And I would just sum this up as a very terrible, bad, horrible day for NASA doing live feeds.
Hey, yo, girl, show them that song I taught you.
I got Jesus, what you got? I got Jesus, what you
There we have it. So that guy was busted. The guy in the green shirt that had the augmented reality glasses on, in his glasses, he saw the fake object, so he acted like he was moving it to another place. However, the computers conked out or weren't working right, and it did not render that image visible to the viewer. You know what I mean? So they're faking like they're really moving these floating things in zero gravity and stuff like that. You also saw the harness and everything. You know what I mean? So he got caught out there. Let's move on. What we're going to watch now this is what they tested. This is what supposed NASA astronauts, how they test. They immerse themselves in water, and the movement is supposed to be similar to what they do in space. All right, let me get back to that. I'm kind of scrolling around. Stop scrolling around. There we go. Okay, so you can see how this is very similar. You see them even with the astronaut suits on and stuff. This is what they use to test and practice. They, actually do it in water. But I'm going to tell you, I mean, they have different ways of faking this crap. Sometimes they go on zero gravity planes. If you don't know about that, look it up. It's some stuff that could make you kind of like float on the plane when it rushes down to the earth and stuff like that. But, they also fake the crap by faking it in an actual pool, as well as just straight up CGI. So check this next one out, right? This is supposedly in space now. This was, footage aired claiming that they're in space doing whatever they do. Did it go past it? Okay, I think we went past it. Let me move back a little bit. Look, a bubble. Somebody blew a fart bubble. They couldn't hold it in. I told you this is some bean footage because somebody ate too many beans and they blowing fart bubbles in that pool that they trying to front like it's space. Crazy stuff. What else we got? Okay, yeah, this is them wearing the harness wires. You see a guy adjusting his homeboy's wire.
You've just been...
You know what I'm saying? See that hand over there? He's adjusting his wire for him. You can't see the wire because it's been blacked out, you know, with the technology, with the computer imagery. His man is reaching for some fake stuff. He's, of course, they're going to show it again and again. That woman, her hair happens to just stand up still like that. That's not really consistent with, less of gravity. All right, they're going to keep showing this, or is there more? I thought there was another one where they showed someone do it, but oh yeah, I think this one, is this it? Now I don't. All right, I think this video just shows that one, but check this out on your own. Look up NASA hoax. You'll see tons of this stuff. It will take too long to go through so many of it, so I just pointed out a couple of them. But here's a good one I will play because this was recently, and I'll actually let my homeboy ODD speak on exactly what happened. I want you to check him out. I got the link to his channel below, so check him out and subscribe. He also does great work on this flat earth thing. All right, bleep my mic out and let you hear him.
So on January 3rd, 2018, there was a major malfunction on what's called the International Space Station. In a video on NASA's YouTube channel called Space Station Crew Members Discuss Life in Space with the Media, the three astronauts, all disappear simultaneously while the background layer of the ISS remains intact.
Thank you very much again. Thank you for your time. Have a good flight and many more exciting experiments on the orbit. Thanks a lot.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
So yeah, these people are flugazi. Let me check something. I'm not even sure if that played. So if it didn't play, if it did play, pardon me for respinning this back. But I really want to make sure you see that. I'm gonna check to make sure it plays real quick, in case it didn't.
January 3rd, 2018, there was a major malfunction on what's called the International Space Station. In a video on NASA's YouTube channel called Space Station Crew Members Discuss Life in Space with the Media, the three astronauts, all disappear. So, on January 3rd, 2018, there was a major malfunction on what's called the International Space Station. In a video on NASA's YouTube channel called Space Station Crew Members Discuss Life in Space with the Media, the three astronauts, all disappear simultaneously while the background layer of the ISS remains intact.
Thank you very much again. Thank you for your time. Have a good flight and many more exciting experiments on the orbit. Thanks a lot.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Okay, pardon me for that. I messed up on the video, and that's why I had to play it again. I guess all this NASA fakery is starting to rub off on me. But what needs to rub off on me is some of that 20 billion that they get a year to do all that. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's just a quick little primer to NASA and the many hoaxes of them that they do. Let's see. I'll show a little quick something of the moon landing. Now the moon landing, that could be a video all in itself. That hoax has been spoken about like for decades. You know, but those like real diehard nationalists, though, they'll say, yeah, the moon landing was real because, you know, they're America, yeah. Oh yeah, this is what I want to show. Satellites, right? They claim that there's tens of thousands of satellites along with debris and other stuff orbiting and all around our Earth. Yet, as we see from many pictures of Earth, even from the ISS, you never see not one of them. And also, not one of them has ever failed and fell to the Earth. You know what I'm saying? How come there's never, you know, how come you never see it? Now, you do see what is supposedly the ISS. It could be zoomed in with a telescope or some cameras up in the sky wherever it's, you know, up near. I guess the Earth rotates and it'll be near like many different parts of the Earth. You can see something like that, but that's thought to probably be a hologram or something. You could look into that, but I'm going to be fair. There is something that you can see that resembles the ISS. It looks like the letter H, basically. But yeah, we never see all of these satellites from the perspective of the ISS, when literally this is how it should look, you know. And, you know, satellites, the thing with that, I don't think satellites are what they are. There's some people, I forget his name, there's one dude that he had a whole thing. Look up satellites are really air balloons or satellites are really balloons, and you'll probably find the guy who broke all that stuff down. He showed when NASA and America and the government and stuff were buying up all these balloons, and it fit with the time period. You know, he cross-referenced it with the time that they claimed to have launched satellites. Like there's a direct correlation, date-matching date of when they acquired certain balloons or launched them or something like that. But it cross-references precisely with times that they claimed certain satellites were up. So that tells you there is a deep correlation between air balloons and satellites. Now, not only that, also, you know, fiber optic wires, underground cables, towers and stuff like that. I think that's what gives us our cell phone signals and stuff like that. I've driven from like Arizona through Nevada and all these places where for a good while, a good long drive, you will not get any cell reception. Why? Because it's a lot of flat land, it's a lot of desert, it's a lot of unpopulated land. Thus, there's no reason to put up cell towers and all these things that really give us our supposed satellite signals and all that, because there's no people there. But if satellites really existed, especially to this capacity of so many, then shoot, even in the dead zone, you would think that there's gonna be like a satellite that's above you. Like, why are there no satellites above you in places that just coincidentally don't happen to be so populated, like certain deserts in Arizona and through Phoenix and stuff like that that you drive through? It sounds suspect. What else we got? Okay, yeah, this is what I want to talk about, the moon. Hold on, let me get this up for you. Okay, this one picture says a lot. Earth from 240,000 miles away, which is what they claim the distance of the moon from Earth is. This, the second one below, is Earth from 1 million miles away. I guess taken supposedly by the ISS or something like that. Any questions? Yeah, a lot of questions to be asked. For, of course, the obvious is how come in the first picture that's so much closer, that's about a fourth close, that's about 3/4 closer to the Earth, how come it's way smaller than that picture that's zoomed away 1 million miles, or, you know, 4 times the distance? Also, I want you to think of this. I was looking for this particular meme, but I couldn't find it. But this picture, you know, will do the trick. All right, if you're on Earth, you know, say that the moon is where they say it is and everything is as they say, right? If you're on Earth, you see the moon. It's kind of small, right? Because the moon obviously is a lot smaller than the Earth, even with the globe model. You know what I'm saying? But, all right, so the moon, let's say 240,000 miles away, small thing. So on Earth, you could see it. It looks like a small thing. But if you're on the moon, like look at the second picture. Just imagine if you were a man on that moon. Wouldn't the Earth look, you know, probably approximately as big as it does in proportion in that second picture on the moon. Imagine you were on there, and that on that second picture, that Earth would look exactly as it is there, like super huge from the distance of the moon. So how is it possible if the Earth is several times larger than the moon, that when on the moon, as in the first picture, because you know this is from the people that supposedly landed on the moon, they claim that this is a picture they got from there. How could the Earth look that small if the Earth is significantly that much bigger? You know what I mean? Crazy stuff. Okay, I think that's it for the pictures. What else I wanted to cover up in here? You know, we still got a lot of good more fun to be had up in this thing. Moon landing, satellites. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about gravity real quick because I don't think I even put it in my notes. Okay, gravity is a theory. It's never been considered a hard body fact, right? And it's so coincidental that we need to have the theory of gravity, because you need the theory of gravity for the globe model. How come? Because if you're like on the northlands of the orb, you know, up is up, down is down, you can just stand there. But if you're in Australia at the bottom, there had to be an excuse for them to come up with that says that you stick there. Or if you're near the equator, you're on the sides. You know, there had to be some type of concept for them to explain why you stick there. And I think Newton was in on the ShamWow as well. All right, so basically gravity, they say that things suck you to, you know, the center of the Earth. It pushes you toward it, right? That's gravity. It keeps you stuck to the Earth. Funny thing, with flat Earth, going back to what I said about how what they've given us seems to really be the out there conspiracy. The out there conspiracy we consider norm, but what really logically seems normal, we consider a kooky theory. Because on a flat Earth, you don't need gravity. Up is up, down is down, right? You jump up, you fall down. Why? Why do things go down? Because it is heavier than the air around it. If it's heavier than the air around it, it's going to drop. If it's lighter than the air around it, it's going to rise. Heavier than the air around it, that's called density. You drop a bowling ball off a building, it falls down. Lighter than the air, that's called buoyancy. You have a helium balloon, you have it on a string, you let the string go, the helium balloon rises because there's more helium that's lighter than air than there is of, you know, the outside of the balloon or the string that is oxygen. As simple as that. But they give us this bipolar gravity. Why do I call it bipolar? Because not only is gravity something that makes that pulls everything toward it, to the center of it, then if you have another mass object big enough, like the sun, gravity also gives it an orbit where it circles around it. Gravity also gives the moon, which is, you know, smaller than the Earth in the globe model, it also gives it this ability to orbit it. To me, that's kind of strange, like very bipolar. So gravity sucks things in and keeps you stuck to a surface, keeps all this water stuck to the surface, and it also has the dual job of orbiting things. Yet, you know, in science and scientific theories, they like to replicate things on a smaller scale, microcosms to explain the macrocosms and such. Yet we don't have any microcosm in observable reality for gravity that we can show, like an orb or something, and show things sticking to it and showing it having this ability to pull things and keep water in a rounded place like that. We don't have any repeatable type of method to explain things orbiting a larger mass due to gravity. We cannot produce that on Earth. One of my homies did bring up a good point, like on a subatomic level, or rather an atomic level, electrons, protons, you know, revolving around a nucleus. Sure, we do have that. I will say we do have that. But it makes me wonder, I'm like, hey, is that where they came up with this fake heliocentric concept from anyway? From exploring the cells and saying, you know what? I don't know how we could get these people away from knowing where we really are. Yeah, this thing called space, and we're gonna model it off of the cellular behavior and on a cellular level. Something to think about. But yeah, next we're going to get into who are these liars a little bit. And we're also going to dig into the flat earth map, more about the geocentrism, you know, how it really came about, stuff like that, and a good lot more. You know what I'm saying? We about halfway through with this thing, so stick around. Or everybody in the comment section, everybody in the chat, everybody, thanks for coming through. Hope y'all enjoying yourselves and all that. And yeah, as I said before, man, after this video's done, do some more research. Look into this. You know what I'm saying? My goal is just to tell you that this is not a silly theory. It has a premise in intellectuality. It has an intelligible premise to it. All right? Catch y'all soon. Real soon, because this is going to play right after. All right, now because I don't want this thing to go on forever and forever, I'm kind of condensing some of the stuff I was gonna like go into a lot deeper. But so a couple things I'll just go over real quick. But yo, I urge you all to look up these names, look up these people, look up this stuff itself. Now we went through the lie, or the supposed lie, if the earth is actually a flat and not globular or whatever. But who's lying? All right, we went over the Jesuits. We went over the Masonic astronauts. We went over essentially the Roman Catholic Church, or the people that have a grip on our society, supposed elite folk and all that. But they have front people, they have frontmen, they have spokesperson. Let's go to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now, Neil deGrasse Tyson, black man from New York. He went to Markksargent, one of the 3 specialized schools in New York. We got Stuyvesant, Brooklyn Tech, and Markksargent. He went to Markksargent, I went to Brooklyn Tech. Shout out to the brother and all that. But he's also of a Masonic lodge himself. He's a Mason. Now, whether he's the fish fry version or they actually let him into the real club, I'm not even sure. But the point is, not only is he, you know, affiliated with Masons, because, you know, he's a big globe guy. He's the one that said the earth isn't, you know, the earth is a globe and it's kind of pear-shaped, kind of chubby in the middle. And, you know, he had a thing with this rapper B.O.B., Flat Earth rapper, and they had like a little pseudo rap battle and stuff like that. But he goes hard for the established version of science, which a lot of people call scientism. He goes hard in scientism, boy. You know what I'm saying? Stern globe earth. I don't even want to say believer. I think he really knows what's up, but you know, he's pushing the agenda. But I want y'all to look this up. Look up Neil deGrasse Tyson. Also, I believe I got this from my brother Odd TV. Link in the description to his channel. But there's proof that Neil deGrasse Tyson is an actor. Now, is he exclusively an actor with no science credibilities and everything? You know, he supposedly worked at the Museum of Space or something. I forget the exact name of it, but he worked in the Space Museum and stuff like that. His credentials may very well be true in that. I'm not sure. They all may be bogus, and he may just be an actor strictly, just playing his role, doing his thing with no actually real credentials. I don't know. I'm not going to put that, you know, put that judgment on the man like that. But he has definitely been, you can look him up and see that he traces back to having quite an acting career. So it's possible that he's just a plant there to, you know, screw things up and all that, whatever. Oh yeah, I got my hair all out. I was going, you know, I had it in the ponytail. I was going for dude from Ancient Aliens, since I'm kind of like the antithesis to that dude, you know, the dude with the kooky hair to talk all that ancient alien crap. And I'm talking some practical, normal stuff. And people still think that this is the kooky thing. So I wanted to go for that look. It didn't quite do it because I had my hair pinned back and all that, right? So yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson has been outed or known to be an actor. May be the real deal with the science, maybe not. Y'all could look into that. I'll definitely look into it more. What I did want to talk about is the flat earth map, as you see it above, azimuthal equidistance map. And as you may have gathered by now, not only is this common theory of the earth being flat, you know, that we're shaped on a disk, but as I spoke on before, it's also the difference between heliocentrism and geocentrism. I'm also postulating that we are the center of the universe. Earth is the center of the universe. The sun and the moon revolve around us, smaller celestial bodies that move around us to give us the night and the day. Stars are not trillions of miles away. They're lights in the sky. What their complete purpose is, I don't know, but they're lights in the sky, and they can be zoomed in, as I'm going to show you guys soon. I'll just cover a couple more things real quick. They say that stars are light years, millions of miles away. Yet they also say that the Earth is revolving around the sun, takes a year to revolve around the sun. But that whole solar system, sun, Earth, moons, and all the planets in our solar system is revolving around the Milky Way at crazy ass speeds. They also say our Earth is on an axis of, I think, what, 23.3 degrees, something like that. Whatever degree would, if you were to subtract that degree number from 90, you would end up with 66.6. Real stuff. And I believe they say the solar system is revolving around the Milky Way galaxy at 66 million miles or something like that. In what we've been given for the rate and the speed that our celestial bodies move around, you're gonna find it riddled with 666. Look into that more. Real talk. But yeah, the point I was really trying to make is the North Star is always where the North Star is. The constellations are always where the constellations are. Years, decades, centuries, and millenniums later. Yet we're darting through infinite space at ridiculous mega millions amounts of speed, and not just going one direction. It's, as I said, Earth, while it's going this way, the Earth revolves around the sun, and that whole solar system revolves around a Milky Way. All while it's going this way, that Milky Way, I think, revolves or moves around another galaxy or something, and then that shoots through infinite space. That's what we've been trained to believe. However, the stars in the sky look the same year round, you know? So, okay, so back to what I was saying, right? It's more than just flat Earth. We're literally saying that space is fake. Space is some stuff that they conjured up, right? And we live on a flat Earth, and it's consistent with how the Bible and other ancient religions describe it. A lot of us believe there is a dome firmament, meaning a barrier, as said in the book of Genesis, to separate the waters from the waters. We also believe that past that dome firmament, there are waters above. And I'm going to show you some stuff to kind of suggest that there are waters somewhere up and away from us. You know what I'm saying? So some people believe in the dome firmament. Some people believe that, yes, there is some kind of ceiling, but it's not a firmament. A lot of people believe in either infinite flat plane, meaning that it's not just this circle. You know what I'm saying? There's the ice wall, but then when you go past the ice, you'll find other circular Earth-like places. This is why I'm cutting it short. I would have put this in here. Look it up, though. You could find an ancient Chinese map that shows our Earth and other sections of Earth-like places with several continents and stuff like that. Yeah, so some people believe we're under a dome. Some people believe there's a ceiling and there's infinite land. A lot of flat earthers don't believe there's a dome or barrier at all, right? So, sun and moon close, same size, ice wall, firmament. Yeah, possible other Earths, map. Yeah, let's dig into this a little bit. Actually, I can play the video for that. Let me see where I'm at, because I'm kind of like starting to ball up a lot of things in one. But now we back on course. Let me show you some things. Okay, yeah, this is a picture. The night and day You know, it's a little model that this guy Rob Skiba, I believe I got the link below, a model that he made. It's showing how the sun revolves around the earth. Whoops, not yet. All right, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. You know, we in the home stretch, so it's blooper reel time. That's why I'm hooking up right now. Hold on, I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this is the little thing that this guy Rob Skiba conjured up that depicts how the sun revolves around our Earth. He doesn't show the moon in it, but he shows the sun. Now, honestly, a lot of us are not in agreement of exactly how the sun works, like if it does exact circular rotations, because the going theory is the reason why we get seasons is as the sun goes closer to the equator is the hot season. You know, not only does it circle, but it spirals. So at some point of the year, the sun will be in the north doing a small circle, and then it'll work its way outward and outward and outward till it's circling near the ice rim, and that'll be wintertime. And when it circles back inward, it'll be summertime. And a lot of people also believe as it circles or spirals in those directions, it also goes up and down. So a lot of people believe when it gets hotter, a lot of times the sun actually gets closer down to the earth. Why is this thing not showing? Oh, I know why, because I'm messing up. Hold on. Let me show you this little thing. Pause. I got a little thing. Let's see. Window capture 1. I'm NASA right now. I'm an astronaut right now. You know what I mean? Just messing this whole little thing up in the home stretch, and look at me, just unking up stuff. All right, why ain't you showing the? You know what? I think I explained it good. We might just have to. Yeah. We don't got too much time to be harping over showing you that. But you can look it up. Look up Rob Skiba. Look up Azimuthu Equidistant Map. I'll try to type that somewhere so you don't got to worry about the spelling, and look up his diagram that shows it. But it's basically that thing that you see right above this screen right now, but it just shows the sun circling around it, so you ain't really missing much. Now I'm gonna bring you to this guy here, Admiral Byrd, who's from the 50s. He's an explorer, right? He explored him and his crew explored the North Pole and the supposed South Pole. Of course, he speaks of it as an actual globular South Pole. Whether he knows himself or believes himself that we're on a flat plane, I don't even know. But I'm gonna let him chop up a little bit of what he said. But to sum it up, he said that his explorer team, they traveled to the North Pole and they found more land, a lot of green land and stuff that they're just not telling us about, these supposed powers that be. He traveled to the South Pole. He claimed he saw the ice wall, huge ice wall. Him and also one of his guys, Captain Cook, tried to sail around it, and they said it went on for days, which makes sense if it's consistent with circling our plane. He also said he had ships fly over the ice wall, and as they flew over the ice wall, they kept going and they crashed into nothing. You could look that up. What does that suggest that is? That suggests that could be the dome, you know, the outer, you know, lower part, bottom edge of the dome firmament. Let's see, can we get a little playtime? Bird, what's popping?
Bread. And already he sent some to Europe, and it very worked very well over there for some of the starving people. So you can store it down to the Antarctic and against the lean years, and you wouldn't have any people in the world really starving if you did that.
Yes, in the event of an atomic war.
You stay there forever.
Admiral, you speak of the resources of Antarctica. What are they? What are the natural resources there?
Well, we've found enough of coal within 180 miles of the South Pole in a great ridge of mountains. It's not covered with snow, enough to supply the whole world for quite a while.
Well,
that's the coal. Now, there's evidence of many other minerals. We are pretty sure there's oil. Now, that coal shows the bottom of the world. Now, by far the coldest spot in the world. Where that coal is gets 100 below zero in the winter.
Well,
It was once tropical. So we think there's oil there, and there's evidence, probably uranium there.
is it any secret? Is there uranium there? That would be the only thing that would be practical to actually go after, I suppose. Everything else would be economically unfeasible, wouldn't it?
Well, you know, they used to love their uranium back in the 50s and 60s.
The time will come when we'll have to go after that stuff down there.
Well,
you know, I avoided what you said about uranium. I'm not sure about that. I don't want to have the world fighting over the Antarctic.
And Robert, is there a competition among other nations to try to get information about Antarctica and possibly to secure some of these resources?
Well, yes. There are now 7 nations very much interested. Russia is interested tremendously. That I'm sure of. Australia has an expedition down there. The Argentine, the Chile,
Oh, my mic wasn't even on. Good. I said let me play some more Admiral Byrd. I was gonna sum it up, but let me let y'all kick it with him a little while longer.
New Zealand, Britain, and so on. Now, you can understand those people down there being
Alright, I know what I was going to say. We got to sum it up because, you know, time constraints and stuff. I don't want to keep y'all here too long like that, right? Yeah, shortly after this expedition, after this navigational thing that he did to the North Pole and the South Pole, right? Shortly after that, that's when they signed the Antarctic Treaty, where about 50 or a whole bunch of different nations signed a treaty that claimed that no one country or land can lay claim to Antarctica. And ever since then, they've been militarily guarding the whole Arctic region, or the ice wall, or whatever you want to call it, and not allowing people to travel and explore that area. Sure, they have guided tours and stuff, but those tours are guided, and they only show you what they want to show you. You can't just keep on trucking and pushing and trying to bust through the ice and the firmament. It ain't happening, Captain. You know what I'm saying? So they signed that Atlantic Treaty, that Antarctic Treaty, and then no one could pass that or whatever, right? Shortly after that, that's when NASA was invented, because this was around the 50s. NASA came out 55, I think, 56, maybe as late as 59, I forget. That's when NASA came out. What else came out of Admiral Byrd's trip? It were shortly after this trip, there were 2 operations. One was called Operation Fishbowl, where they shot nuclear weapons as far up in the air as they can to see what happened. The theory is that they were trying to bust through that firmament. They were trying to bust through the ceiling. Operation Fishbowl. And they also had another operation called Operation High Jump, where they tried to explore past the ice walls. Makes sense? High jump, jump over that big ass ice wall and see what's going on there. 2 very suspiciously titled type of missions that they had shortly after this. Also, shortly after this, the inception of NASA to really space you out, and that's when they started ciphering all types of billions from us and stuff. Let me see real quick on the fly. I'm gonna try to pull up a picture of that actual ice wall. You know what I'm saying? We off the cuff now, baby. Let me see. And this is stuff I urge y'all to do. Anything that you find interesting, just hit either Google or hit the YouTube search and get biz. Because a lot of people say, where's the ice wall? Where's the ice wall? What scientists are seeing over the Japan's ice wall over Antarctica. You want the Antarctic ice wall. Come on.
What do you mean it's not working out right?
And of course, we're going to bang it out with a commercial.
As long as Office got some traffic fast, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more.
Finally, the slowly setting sun lights up cracks or leaves.
I don't know if this one's going to show exactly what I'm looking for.
So while this focused on the Pine Island region, NASA Goddard kept...
Nah, that ain't really, well, that might be it, but I want to be thorough. See, what I noticed, what they've done, they've taken a lot of flat earth videos and either lowered them down in the searchability factor or outright deleted them. I'm not sure which is really which, but if you looked up flat earth ice wall, you'd be able to pull it up immediately. So what I want y'all to do is really take a look at this. Here we go. Antarctica is a wall of ice and a circumference of 360 around the earth. That's what I'm talking about. The ice wall that people ask about right here. With an ad in the way. Some funky music playing. Let me skip all that. Boom, look at this. It goes beyond as far as the eyes could see. There it is right there. So yeah, they were wondering if there's anything past the ice wall. That's when Admiral Richard E. Byrd said he found land past the ice wall and stuff like that. Now I'm assuming that maybe in some helicopters or planes that they were flying over the ice wall, they took binoculars, telescopes, or whatever, zoomed in it. I don't think they actually got to that other land that he discovered. He just discovered it ocularly because of course they said their ships were crashing into something, which is presumably the firmament. Where we at? All right, so that's the ice wall. What else we got up in here? Okay, let's really, I saved the good stuff for last. We're gonna dig into a little bit of proof. Like I said, I'm just showing you a little small tip of the iceberg, pun intended. I want you guys to go and really look into this if this piques your interest and you think that I'm presenting an actual real point. Look into it. Yo, it took me about a year after my man Perfecto put me onto the flat earth thing, and I looked into it in detail and everything, and it was just so ridiculous in my opinion that I just could not be moved for an entire year. I had to revisit the theory and really look into it more, and then I saw how things broke down, and I was like, yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get down to a little bit of proof here. Is this the one I want? Oh, okay, here we go. This is, we'll bring that one, we'll leave that there. Why not? This right here is this one. Not that one either. I'm like having blooper reels up in this piece. Where we at? Let me see if it. Yeah, Pythagorean proof of curvature for a ball with a radius of 3959 miles using AutoCAD 2015 with 15-digit precision. So it's very precise. Screenshot this if you want. It just shows the rate at which the Earth should curve. It's the mathematics of it all. 8 inches per mile squared is how much the Earth curves. So after 1 mile, the Earth should dip down 8 inches. After 2 miles, it should dip down 64 inches and keep squaring it on and on and on and on. So to break it on, right? So that's that. Are we ready for this one? Or are we ready for a video? Let me see. I got this thing set up nice and love for y'all. Okay, the scuba diver. Nah, we don't need the scuba diver. Fails again. We saw that. We saw all that, baby. Bring us that new stuff, spaceman. We saw that already. All right, hold on. Okay, we're gonna rock out with the slideshows. I don't even know if I got any more video to show y'all. I will give it a thorough check, and in general later. So yeah, we want to go in the proof. Now you saw that picture, right? Now even according to that picture that showed the mathematics of it, the rate at which the Earth is supposed to curve, it should have been curved by the time it got down to that bottom joint right there, maybe even the middle one, maybe even the top. But that's not really the main thing I want to show you in this picture. Read what it says. No matter how high you ascend, the horizon will always rise to eye level. Meaning, you look out a plane window, as far as from what your eyes see, it'll always see it at a certain level. It won't look like you're looking way down. And on a ball Earth, no matter how big the ball is, as you rise, the horizon should look down because you're seeing kind of past the curve. So your eye level of the farthest you can see would be where you know, your vision should drop. And I got a GIF. This video I do gotta play. I gotta find this GIF because it explains it so well. It explains what I'm talking about. So yeah, we definitely gonna find this GIF. Y'all is gonna have to works with me if I can't find it in seconds. But yeah, no matter how far you rise, from a balloon flight, or you know, jump up in the air on the ground, the thing is always gonna be at your eye level. Oh, okay, yeah, I found the other thing. Let me see, is it showing up? No, it ain't. All right, hold on. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something on the fly. Let's get it. Yeah, because this picture is really gonna bring home what I'm talking about. All right, I don't want to show. Bear with me, y'all. It's gonna take a couple minutes to really show you what I'm trying to show you. So just bear with the kid, and we're gonna get Briz. All right, Horizon Globe. All right, this really brings home what I'm talking about when I say your eye level. And as you go up on a ball of Earth, you know, your eye level should go down. Now, I'm gonna show you right now. Let me see. Make sure this thing playing. All right, I got a commercial. Good. That gives me time to make sure it plays. All right. Window. What the heck? All right. We're gonna work it out. There it goes. Okay, this is what I mean when I say the horizon is consistent with your eye level. Come on, skip the ad, dude. Now you see this? It explains it so well. Move that over. It explains it so well. Check it. A simple horizon test. Spinning round globe versus stationary flat plane that goes on and on. So then the question is, which illustration best fits what we always see? It is definitely the second one, because even if it's a huge Jupiter-sized ball Earth, that horizon is going to lower because it's curved down. So it's not supposed to meet at your eye level like that. It's just not possible. All right. So that's one. Okay, on the cuff, I gotta bang out these things. That's what I was looking up for. Okay. Now, also, you saw that picture that shows the rate at which the Earth is supposed to curve. Now, let me show you some things where it would be impossible on a ball Earth for them to do stuff like this. Where we at? 59. Okay, there's someone that took their cameras out, or camera, or telescope, or whatever he used, out at sea, and he was looking at ships go past the horizon that people say is the curve of the Earth that usually obstructs it. Let this rock out for a minute, because I want you to get the full gist of this. This is one of the best pieces of evidence, in my opinion, that shows we're not on a spinning globe that's at least at 25,000 mile circumference. Approaching the vanishing point. All right, he was zoomed in, so now he's zooming out. Most people would say that ship had went past the curve. Look up these tests. See if you can find some more online. They used to be flooded with them. YouTube is taking a lot of it off, or at least put it way down the search results or whatever. I'm not sure which one it is, but this is one of the best pieces of proof that shows that we're not on a curved spherical Earth, at least according to the math and the amount that they say is curved and spherical. So it heavily suggests it's a flat plane. Or at the least, we're on a much bigger Earth than what science is telling us. Alright, we're going to move on, but that's that. What else I got? I think I got some more video for you. Oh, okay, yeah. Boom. We did it before, but we about to do it again in a couple different angles. And that's the balloon footage from balloons that go 100,000 feet, 120-something thousand feet. According to the math that you saw in that other diagram, at 70,000 feet, with the way these cameras are showing what they're looking at and panning it and everything, the Earth should be very significantly curved in accordance to what you see here that shows something flat. Where we at? 50 something. Come on, Acne. You don't need all that. Yeah. Flat plane. Now that's not super too high. That's not 120 something thousand feet yet. But he's going to show some of that. Look at that. There's also joints, I didn't find it yet, but there's another one that shows the sun looking like it's real close to wherever that balloon is, and as the thing's panning around, you can see the moon in the far distance. Now, how could that be possible if half the Earth is lit up by the sun, the other is, you know, on the moon side, or whatever. But yeah, only on a flat plane are you going to see the sun and see the moon way out there. And the moon looked a lot smaller. That's the big thing. That's the thing actually that I really mean. The moon, you could tell it wasn't as close as the balloon guy was from the sun. The moon was like a little blip, but you could see it. Now, if both of these things are thousands and millions of miles away, then the moon isn't going to look smaller. You know what I'm saying? All right, because if you're on Earth and you see the moon there, yeah, sure. Let's say we're on a globe. You go to the moon 200 and something thousand miles away. Sure, the moon's going to be a lot big because you're next to it, right? But 200 and something thousand miles away, the moon's not going to change any size at any 70 or 100,000 feet up in the air, right? So for you to see the moon as a small little blip, that means it's a horizontal size difference. You get what I'm saying? So if you were close to it horizontally, when you were up at that 120 something thousand feet, if you were to, let's say you had a jetpack and you flew in the direction of the moon, then the moon would start getting bigger, which tells you basically, it says that the moon and the sun, or at least the moon in this one example, is quite close to the Earth, because it shouldn't look a lot smaller than it actually is from your perspective, seeing it at 120 something thousand feet up. You know what I mean? If that moon is really 200 and something thousand, 250 or 60 whatever miles away, then that should be when it changes in size when you go up to it. Basically, if you would see the moon at 120 something thousand feet, it should look just the same as it would if you were on Earth just about looking at it, because the differential difference of where you're from and what you're looking at is so grand. You know what I mean? It'll take so far for you to go for you to start noticing a difference in the size. I hope I explained that good. All right, we're gonna move on though. Horizon test, we did that. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Zoom stars being zoomed in on. Peep game. Another thing that uses the example I was just talking about. If stars are light years away, then there should be no way that on Earth you could have a camera, P900X camera, you know, with the best zoom lens you could get for a commercially purchasable camera, as I understand, but it has an amazing zoom lens. And this is how the stars look when they zoom into it. Not only does it look different than it does on Earth, which doesn't make any sense, because if it's light years away, then that small difference of distance that you are, it shouldn't look any different really than if, you know what I'm saying, then if you're on Earth looking at it, or if you take a camera and you zoom in on it, right? But not only does it look different, look at the kind of difference it looks. They have different illustrious colors and everything, and it looks like they're lights that's reflecting, or it's showing the ripples of water. And remember what I said, the firmament covers the waters above from the waters below. So this light may just be like a little window, so to speak, of the waters above, and that's why you see that watery looking ripple. That's how the stars look. Even a lot of other planets, they zoom. They might do it in this video. They zoom in on Mars and it looks something similar to that. They zoom in on Venus, it looks something similar to that. So you say, well, what were we seeing in telescopes all these years? Because you could actually see what Jupiter looks like and Mars and stuff like that. There's a lot of different theories about that, but all I know is when people are doing it on their own, this is what they get. This is what they're getting now. So whether them telescopes were rigged with fake images or something, I can't say. I don't know. But now, and people have even done these experiments with homemade telescopes and telescopes where they inspected the inside to make sure it didn't have any nonsense in it and stuff like that, and they were getting similar things. Watery ripple reflecting or shining stars that have all these different wave patterns and stuff. There's definitely some sonic wave stuff going on with that, right? So let me find the other one while I let this rock out. First, let me make sure it's rocking out. Oh boy, did I mess up? I sure did. I was just talking about the star. I'm gonna show the video now. I kind of screwed up a bit, but that's all right though. Yo, ever since I played that thing showing NASA bugging out and messing up, I started bugging out and messing up. But apply what I was just saying to the visuals of what you're about to see. Come on now. All right. All right, quick recap. They say there's a firmament above that separates the waters above from the waters below. These are zoomed in stars. See how it has like a water rippling thing, like it's a keyhole, so to speak, a light that's shining and a glimpse of the waters above through the ripples in these stars. These are stars being zoomed up in. If stars are light years away, then they should not be able to be zoomed in with just like a few thousand feet or anything like that, because they're so far away. Not only that, look at how they're all different colors and stuff. So all that yada yada that I was just speaking when you didn't see anything in the video, apply that to here. All right, so we still gonna move on though. Where we at? Hold on, I'll let this rock out as I find the rest of what I want to show you. Hold on. Yeah, so the stars do some more weird other stuff. Come on, man, I'm trying to deal with this computer. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, those are the stars. NASA fails again, night and day. Okay, I think that's everything for the video. And other than that, I just got a couple more things. You know, we're gonna let this rock out as I look for the other thing. I think maybe we're not. Are we? Flat Earth stars. There we go. Okay. Plane flights. See through. Oh yeah, Augustus Piccard, another person that he was in Popular Science magazine sometime in the mid or late 30s, I believe, right? And he had his own little balloon flight thing that he did. Of course, they didn't have cameras then. All they had was his word of mouth when he came back down. He went up, I think, just like 50,000 feet up, if I'm not mistaken. And in Popular Science magazine, they said that he described how the Earth looked when he went up there. And his near exact words were, the Earth looked like it was a flat disc with upturned edges. Kind of like Big Boy right above here, right there. Flat Earth map. A flat disc with upturned edges. Those upturned edges will be the rim. It would be the ice wall. That's what Augustus Piccard described. What's the guy named Cook? I think his name is Kirk Cook. We got Kirk Cook and Augustus Piccard. We also have Captain Kirk of Star Trek, and we have Jean-Luc Picard of Star Trek The Next Generation. So they try to holler at us in their own little sneaky way, but all that movie decoding and what they do to excuse themselves from doing bull crap by giving us the answer coded into things and all that Masonic stuff, that's another video, but I don't mind doing that other video. So, you know, we could rock out. I don't know what this is on the screen. I'm gonna look for the other pictures I got, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. Where we at? Okay. Yeah, so Augustus Piccard did his thing. Okay, we did that one. We got picture number 12. Ah, here we go. The way that different civilizations depicted the earth. We got Mayan, Norse, Hindu, Inca, Navajo, Arabic, Hebrew, Egyptian, and Masonic even, right? Technically, Masonic is the globe, but I understand what they're saying. They talk to themselves and show the dome firmament and the floor, the ground. The Mayan, dome firmament, flat land. Norse, dome firmament. Hindu, dome firmament. Inca, dome firmament. Navajo, dome firmament and land. Hebrew, which is my favorite one. Can I make this picture bigger so you can see what the Hebrew one says? This is the one I rock with and resonate with the most. I don't know if you can read all that. But yeah, you got the earth. You got S-H-E-O-L, Sheol, or something like that. That's the waters beneath the earth, or the stuff beneath the earth. You've got heaven. You've got little holes in the dome firmament. You got the gate to heaven. You've got heaven of heavens, and you got God sitting on the throne and stuff like that. So yeah, and we're talking about since way in the BC time. These are the ways that other civilizations depicted the earth. This globe earth is a new kid on the block. He about 500 years old. But yeah, different, very intelligent, advanced civilizations were depicting us living on a flat plane for the longest time. Here's a fan favorite of people, Kemet, Egypt. Bro Sanchez, who you can find below, subscribe to him and check him out. He broke this one down. Egypt, that's still a firmament. The one up above, that's Nut. And the one on the ground, that's Geb. Geb being the earth, Nut being the firmament. I believe it's that. It could be vice versa, but don't get me wrong, but I think I described it right. Nut being the one covering the earth, Geb being at the ground. This picture actually shows two people on the bottom side of things, one holding it up. The standard version of it just shows Nut and Geb, the firmament individual, and the one that stands for the earth, right? Where we at? 12. Okay, that's it for the visual stuff. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put this beautiful flat plane back on here, and we're gonna get all this other stuff up out the wizard. You know what I mean? Screenshot this if you haven't. Look it up, download it, all that stuff. There we go. Beautiful flat plane. Ain't it beautiful? So where we at now? Ah, yeah. I wanted to briefly go over what many of y'all might be asking. Why lie? Why would they even bother lying to us about this, right? I'll trace it back to the earlier reasons and then the additional reasons that have ended up probably being added to it throughout the years. I told you about how people in the Jesuit, Masonic, Illuminati, whatever, Satanic, Roman Catholic Church order, they're the ones behind this crap. You know what I'm saying? This globe deception that they've really cast a spell of having us all under, right? They're the ones behind this. Why would they lie? Many believe it's to hide God. You take away the globe and space, you take away the Big Bang, you take away evolution. There's a lot of stuff that could debunk evolution. We could do that in another video too. Like that carbon dating they do that says things are millions and something of years. That's been shown to be fugazi. That science is moot at best. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's another story. But take away the globe, take away space, take away the Big Bang, take away evolution. So what do you have in place of that if you take that away? In place of that, you bring us as being on this earth, as being the center of the universe, as being way more important than a little piece of cosmic dust on a ball planet that just randomly happened to have become existed because just the right circumstances just randomly happened, and now we're humans and we got animals and creatures and we're paying taxes and paying bills and all that other crap like that, right? No. When you recognize that we're on a geocentric reality and that we are most of the universe, this earth, maybe the firmament, waters, God above, stuff like that, whatever's below and everything, but no space, no infinite universe, no darting through infinite space and all that. When you take that away, it makes us so much more important. Now, what would be easier to control as a people if you want to control people? Would it be you knowing that you're, you know, you make up, you know, pretty much the entire universe, you as humanity? Or would it be having you thinking you're a little insignificant piece of dust and speck of dirt from a random accident? That, or divinely created and being most of your known universe and having a divine purpose of your creation. So you do that, you take away God, and hey, when you take away God, you could add all that satanic crap and all that other stuff that they're on, right? So that's one big reason. I think that's more the reason for back in the day, all those people, ancient Greeks that were tried to bust out the globe and all that stuff, they wanted to hide God, they wanted to take that away from us so they could better control us and do whatever that they want to do on top of that, right? In addition to that, a more recent reason for someone to do this, look what I was saying, NASA came out in the 50s, mid to late 50s, right? NASA gets the national budget and other space places too, but I know the American one. The national budget for United States for NASA is about 20 billion a year. It's I think something like 70 something million a day. So why wouldn't they pull pull the wool under our eyes, pull the rug up under us and have us dishing out that much tax money so they could say, oh, we have this big telescope, which is named Lucifer, by the way, and it's a Catholic type of telescope that they have at the Vatican, named Lucifer. They really have that. And spend all this money, rovers on Mars, people migrating to Mars and this and that, space, check the music, and all that other crap like that, even though it don't exist. But make this some wonderful, magical thing, amazing thing that we could discover is great, look at it, and have us shell out tax money for it. Why tell us that we are just about the universe, and now you don't have that thing to dish out the money. Now my homie said a good thing the other day when I was chatting with him. Shout out to Freddie. He said something like, well, it's only about 4% of the national budget is for that. So if they were really on that bull crap, why would they only take 4%? Because they spent, I think, what, 700 billion or something like that on defense, and more on education, more on something else, more on something else. Well, to be honest, that could just be for all we know, they could be maxing out how much they are able to charge us when it comes to percent of budgets and stuff. You know what I'm saying? All that, because to charge more or to get more money for space and NASA and stuff, they might have to take away from the other stuff. Who's to say that the other stuff, defense and all that other crap, isn't actually concrete, real stuff? They probably really need that money for that, and they're like, you know what? How are we gonna gyp these cats? All right, well, we spend the money we really need on that. Now, what could we siphon out these people? Oh, you know that bullshit that we on, that space crazy shit that we got these dumb niggas believing? Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, it's only gonna be 4%, but yo, that's 20 billion a year, dog. We'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, siphon money from us. Another good reason. Another reason, going into the different potential ideas of how our flat Earth really is, going back to what Admiral Byrd was talking about other land past the ice walls and everything. Like I said, they have a treaty. You can't go to Antarctica and just do you. Only a little guided tour or something. Yeah, they're not letting you rock, right? So, who's to say that they haven't discovered other land and stuff like that? Because remember, like I said, NASA came out shortly after Admiral Byrd came out with his stuff, and they did high jump and fishbowl, those operations. Shortly after that is when NASA came up. Think about that. What if they did find other resources and other places in the horizontal direction of looking for stuff, and they're like, yo, we can't have these people find out about this. Yo, you right, dog. Yo, I got this NASA thing. Word? Yeah, you know it means deceiver in Hebrew. Word? Yo, let's hit these cats in the head with this, fam. All right. You know what I'm saying? So now when it comes to our mind frame on exploration, we're busy looking up at the sky, looking up, 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 and away in all those directions, instead of looking at the direction that they know more resources, left, right, backward, forward, sideways. You know what I mean? So those are the reasons that I've come up with of why they would lie to us. And to me, it seems like even if just one of them reasons is it's enough for these wicked folk to pull this pull the rug up under us and all that, wool over our eyes, all that other shit, right? So one other thing though, and this is one that had me not believing this for at least a year after my homeboy put me on to it and told me about it, whatever. And that was, how can they lie? How can you trick the very better half part of 6, 7 billion, 8 or whatever billion people into believing a globe? Now, we went over a lot of the reasons, you know what I'm saying? We went over indoctrination and stuff like that and everything like that. But on another level, all right, if NASA's full of crap, how many people work at NASA? Probably hundreds of thousands. You think somebody will come out and blow up the spot. But check it though. The only people that gotta know, remember when I broke down how the NASA astronauts are Masons, they're of that secret society. If you think about it, they're the only people that have to know that the Earth is really flat. Shoot, Neil Armstrong, one of them first walked on the moon people, I forget the name, old senile dude now. He was in a kindergarten class, and some kindergarten or a young kid in some class was talking to him and asked him about the moon landing, and he told the truth. He said, we didn't go to the moon. When the astronauts, and I would have covered this if I would have wanted to make this longer, but I ain't trying to, you know, rock you out in the head like that. But there's also footage of, you know, when the astronauts came back from the moon supposedly, and they were questioning them and talking to them, they looked really guilty. They didn't look happy like they won the Super Bowl or anything. They actually were acting and behaving like they just did something terrible. You had people through the years in recent times try to interview or talk to these people that supposedly first walked on the moon and did all those missions, and one guy was trying to get them to swear on the Bible that they did go to the moon, and they would not do it. One dude got punched in the face by the supposed astronaut. Another dude just kept on pushing, was not trying to give him any burn, was not trying to swear on that Bible, none of that. One of the guys passed away, and on his tombstone he had some quote about the firmament. Real talk, look it up. You know what I'm saying? He actually, on his tombstone, he was like, to his deathbed or to his tombstone or whatever, he's like, look, I did this deceitful stuff, you know, my life. Well, I'll make up for it in the end on my tombstone. You know, he's like, yeah, he wanted them to write that on there. So he wrote something about the firmament to give his little clue. So yeah, if you think about it, only the astronauts have to know that the Earth is flat and there is no space. Everyone else, the people that work the computers, 10, 9, 8, 7, all those people, they just get a job, training. You do this, you do that, you do that, you do that. They don't got to know anything. Another thing, the 1984 or 84, 85, whatever, shuttle that exploded, and all them people died. I remember I was a kid, and they said that, you know, it was a teacher, it was different people on the shuttle that supposedly blew up. Now, the shuttle did blow up, but you know they don't put people in them things. You know what I'm saying? I didn't put the picture up. I meant to, but you could find a picture, and you could read up on this. Almost all of those people that were supposedly in that shuttle that exploded, they show the before. They show them in the astronaut suits, and in a little circle they show the picture of them now, and all those people look like those people that they showed. They showed them back then, and then they show them now after having aged. So basically all them people survived. That's nearly a hard body fact. It would be way too coincidental. I want y'all to look that up. Look up the 1984 shuttle survivors or something like that, and you'll see it. It's uncanny. Ain't no way that they faked that, or that's a nonsense conspiracy. But yes, that they did fake that they died. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, there is no space, so ain't nobody to put on a shuttle to shoot off at space. Every time they fire off these rockets, they never go straight up. They always end up arching and curving. And where do they curve? They curve somewhere over the ocean where people are not. So why? So that they could, because, you know, as they curve, they're gonna go down in the ocean. Their excuse is that they launched the shuttle and then it's supposed to go along with the Earth's rotation. So that's why it arcs off, because the momentum of the Earth's rotation is supposed to help catapult it. Bull crap, you know what I mean? So yeah, the only people that really got to know are the people that are supposed to be in space and stuff like that. What else? Airplanes, well, pilots and stuff like that, blah 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 blah. Shoot, pilots, they get their training, they get their direction, they tell them how to fly, they tell them how to operate and fly the plane. They don't got to put them on that the Earth is flat. You know what I'm saying? They're just workers. They get their training, they teach them how to fly the plane, with minimalizing the amount of information that they give them about a flat Earth or anything. And then people, they go and they do their job and they keep it pushing, and nobody knows the wiser until you really dig deep and look at the gyroscopes. They got stuff like that. There are people that go deep, and there are actually pilots that have went deep themselves and said, wait a minute, fam, something ain't right, and they themselves have figured out that the Earth is flat. But your average pilot, they don't have to know about a flat Earth to fly a plane. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is only a select few people that need to know the real deal, and everyone else, they get their training, they just do their job, everything good. You know what I'm saying? So a fractional 1% could know, and then the rest will just follow suit and do their job. All right, all right. We back on? We back in the business, in the building? Well, guys, I don't know if this is continuing with the end of the presentation. I did want to close out. The thing kind of froze on me. Okay, it looks like we back now. I don't know if this is continuing. But yeah, that's the presentation in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the links. I got links below of other flat earth channels. If this piqued your interest even the slightest bit, or if you just seen one thing in here that makes you say, you know what, I do want to look into that more, because that is inconsistent to what I've been taught about the globe, about our shape of the earth or the universe or stars. Even if it was just one thing, then I want y'all to look into this more. Check out the channels below. Check them out. They have great information, way better than me. This is the first presentation I ever done online on anything. So, you know, I have bloopers and mess ups and all that stuff. You got some pros down there below. And thanks for my man Markksargent coming through. I'm going to add his channel down there too for the replay. And yeah, I definitely would think y'all should check it out. And hey, if you feel hard-bodied that there was nothing in this video that piqued your interest and said, you know what, there may be a point there, still take the challenge. You know what I'm saying? Check out the folks below that are way more immersed into this, you know, into this flat earth truth and into this flat power than I am, as far as actually doing the work. D Marble, for example, he actually takes his equipment, he lives on the road in his trailer, and he goes all across the country performing actual on-the-spot experiments. Because on some real stuff, I can't even say for sure with 100% certainty that I know. I didn't take the 121 feet up, 121,000 foot up balloon flight. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take my camera and zoom into the stars. So the brother D Marble, he actually does the work and he sees it firsthand and he puts it out there for people to check out. He does great stuff. We got bro Sanchez, we got Rob Skiba. As I said, I'm gonna add Markksargent. I'm gonna add a few other people. I kind of had to like put this thing together once, you know, somewhat on the fly. As you saw in the presentation, I was kind of like leaning back, like, you know, like Michael Jackson on the cover of one of his albums and stuff, because I had a long day and, you know, a lot of this, you know, just a busy man. So, you know, it's amazing I was even able to fit this into the time schedule to get it popping. But yeah, man, if anything piqued your interest, check these people out. If you're just a flat out denier, check these people out so you can debunk them. I want you to try to, if you're just hard body, you know, globular or globe head or ball head, whatever, then take the challenge, man. Check out the people that are way deeper into this than I am and debunk them. You know what I mean? Do that. What was I going to say? Having a brain fluctuation. I was going to say something. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming through. Freddie, Jeffrey Stevens, everybody up top in the chat. Oh, my man A Marvelous. Check him out. Check out his channel. He has great information. You know, he goes into metaphysics, and from metaphysics to socio-political situations. He'll teach you how to get your money right and all that. A Marvelous. He was in here towards the beginning of this stream. So if anything, catch the replay. Look for his channel. Hit right click on that joint. Subscribe to it. He does great work as well. As I'm trying to think of whatever the heck that I'm forgetting, so who knows? I don't forgot it is gone. But y'all, I hope y'all had a good time and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna catch y'all later and whatnot. So yeah, man, stay flat. Peace.